So I try to stay quiet, and I try to, you know, just post the responses and the receipts that I've been, you know, that y'all been receiving before. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if I should review this shit, because I'm just gonna cuss everybody out that I feel like deserves to be cussed out. And I was like, you know, maybe I'll just kind of, you know, fix my blood pressure and not say anything, because I'm thinking like we're giving this too much energy and stuff like that. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like OG has vindicated herself, and anybody can tell me that what she's saying is all in her head, and what we're perceiving, what we saw in season 8, everything that we watched, what we saw after season 8, which I'm gonna talk about some of it as we go through, and then what's happening now in season 9. Some of y'all have selective memory, and you like to forget shit, and your mind is easily manipulated. You don't understand that when you're watching reality TV, there could be a whole hour of a conversation, 3 hours of conversation, and they're gonna pick, cut, and paste, and just cut little scenes out of it. It might be a conversation that had today, but they'll make it seem like we just had it a different day, and then use the confessional green screens and the comments to kind of give you an image and paint something that's not true. Evelyn herself in season 3, if y'all don't remember, said that they had painted her horribly on that show before she went to Iyanla, and she told them that the only way that she'll come back to that show is they up her from getting $7,500 an episode to $20,000 an episode. Okay, she did that, and production, in order to have her come back, were willing to pay her that much, because they had cut and pasted the reality TV show. So everybody's sitting here talking about, well, OG, you're not the one, you know, they made you look the way that you look because you said it. Evelyn Lozada herself have had the same issue with VH1 and production. Now, Shawnee is a producer on the show, but she's not the one who actually controls. The network controls what they're projecting, because they do make money from the viewers. Last season, and the premiere, they had about, I think, 967,000 viewers on the premiere episode. This season, season 9, it was 567,000, significantly dropped, because most of us who have some sense are seeing that there is something that's wrong with this dynamic, and there's something that's wrong with this situation, and that they're trying to play us for fools. Some of y'all who said, well, why did OG come back? Why did she just not come back? Why did she choose to come back here? They treated her badly. I found an article, January 18, 2021, a Madame Noir. I'm gonna read the article and what it said. It said, and I quote, I'm not gonna say a quote. It said, as soon as I stop this volume shit, stop, hush. I don't need you to be talking. Okay, what it said was, if you wonder why OG will return to Basketball Wives season 9 after the way she was treated in season 8, she briefly offered some insight on her Instagram page recently. The controversial cast member has bumped heads with a number of her castmates, from Evelyn Zada to Malaysia Pargo, Kristen Scott, Phoebe Torres, and more. A lot of her clashes occurred during season 8 after most of the cast turned against her for revealing that Kristen's husband isn't Byron Scott's biological son. She eventually faced a lot of shade and outright disrespect from her co-stars, calling out what she thought to be colorist behavior. She was deemed aggressive and left out of group activities on more than one occasion because people claimed they were worried she would get physical. Interestingly, it was cast members who had thrown tables and drinks who had the most to say about feeling unsafe. But she's back. OG's without her good friends Cece Gutierrez and Tammy Roman, both who had enough of the series after season 8. Nevertheless, she filmed in a bubble with the rest of the ladies and will be one to watch this season. Still, people want to know why she would want to subject herself to the unfair treatment of her co-stars. One woman specifically asked, "Why did you decide to go back?" And OG responded, "I'm just here so I don't get fined." She replied after sharing video of the cast being discussed on Wendy Williams. The statement is actually a popular line from NFL free agent Marshawn Lynch, who would show up to post-game press conferences and answer, "I'm just here so I don't get fined," to every question. But the message in this case implies that she has a contract. OG had to show up. That was the same dilemma that kept Tammy from exiting the series when she was fed up at the end of season 7. "I think I checked out about 2 years ago, but my contract said, bitch, clock in," Tammy said in late 2019. "It is what it is. I think I just have run my course." So everybody's sitting up here saying, well, Cece was on contract too. Why her ass in here? They're not on the same contract, bitch. Cece may have been an extra on the show. And when her storyline faded out, they didn't need her. Okay? OG has made a storyline season 7, season 8, and they needed her for season 9 to try and paint this narrative that you seem to be believing. I've read some of y'all comments. Some people are saying, well, OG's still ugly. I don't give a fuck what you think about how she looks. This is a job. When you're in a work environment, you have a duty to treat people with respect. That's the same thing that Ellen DeGeneres was going through when they came out saying that her work environment was toxic and it was brutal. We understand that reality TV shows, there's gonna be some mess. People are gonna say shit. Hell, Tiffany Pollard, Yo New York from Flavor Flav, is a TV personality. But even on her reality TV show, she wasn't about to sit up there and let Laura Govan, make some colorism comment by saying we need more light-skinned people on the show. She fixed her mouth even though she's a reality TV personality and spoke facts of facts, because there's certain things that we have had thousands of people die to try to get equality for your ass. She's not about to sit up there, and ain't no amount of money you can pay me as a black person to sit there and pretend that what's happening is not is right when it's wrong. We've been fighting. Jackie Christie herself making this damn this post video I posted in my last. If you want to see what conversation I'm reviewing, go to my video list. The most recent receipt I posted, it was about 10 minutes long, conversation between OG, Jackie, and Jennifer, and it was supposed to be a conversation that occurred right after the conversation that she had with Malaysia and Kristen to come and speak to her and try to get her to change her opinion, in the same conversation that Malaysia actually vocalized towards OG, saying, you're not about to paint me as the aggressive black woman, because she didn't want that label on her, but she clearly is okay with that label being on OG, who didn't touch nobody. Okay, so this is the conversation I'm talking about and I'm reviewing in this particular video. I'm not going to review all of it because I think that it's going to be like a revolving a door of me saying the same thing over and over and over and over. I'm not going to be redundant. So when I'm speaking about this, I'm speaking about the most recent video that was put out there. So Tiffany Pollard on her show said, if you're going to be respecting black people and you want to say you're all black people, you're all about black people, you need to respect it in all shades. And with the way they treated OG, it was not respect. It's not because she's ugly or they think she's ugly. And to me, I don't think that girl's ugly. Facts. Because you think somebody's ugly in your work environment doesn't mean that you get to use racist terms to try and get them booted off whatever group you're in. I've had that in my work environment and I fixed that shit. I was surrounded by Armenians, and the Armenian supervisor I had, whose supervisor was also Armenian deputy, was going around saying shit without talking to me or writing me up. When my reviews came up and they were trying to give me something that I didn't think I deserved, when I've seen him with the other Armenians in my group, they come in an hour late, he used the excuse that they have kids. I show up 10 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes, and it's a huge issue. And I was the only black person there. So I went higher than both of them and said, you got me fucked up. Just because you don't like the way that I look does not give you a right. And let's just be clear, I'm blessed with beauty. But just because you don't like or understand the way that I look gives you no right to be treating me the way that you treated me. And he did the same thing with the Hispanic in the group. Dogged him out behind his back to the supervisor until they transferred him to another unit. And the boy didn't do shit to him. He was condescendingly talking to him. Do you know what you're doing? Are you sure? Did you get trained right? And he wasn't talking to other people like that. So OG's in a work environment where they're trying to amplify her actions as worse than the other people when she has yet to touch somebody. And that's fact. So all y'all sitting here talking about it's not colorism, they just don't like her. You're dim and you're dumb and you're literally one of the most ignorant people I've ever seen in my life. And those are facts. I'm not holding my mouth. I love you for watching the show. I love you for watching the review, but just like you express yourself, I'm going to express myself and be honest with you. You don't have to like somebody to respect them. Now, with reality TV show, we know that when they cuss them out, they call them bitches and stuff. Y'all can cuss people out and go back and forth as part of the job description you adhere to when you sign that contract. But being branded a racial term, a racist term of being aggressive, being violent, not being able to control yourself. This is the same images they even put not just on black women, but on black men when they were trying to say that black men can control themselves around white women. So if you had a white woman in the room, it only makes sense that when they're accused of rape, they did it. Because there's no way that they could exercise self-control when they're around certain types of people. That is the same image that they're trying to put this girl when they put her on a different stage in season 8. Hell, even Jackie, her ass is sitting up here talking about, I didn't see colorism. Bitch, your ass was on that stage saying, why is OG on a different stage? You asked that question during the reunion last season, bitch. So why are you sitting up here acting like you don't know what the hell is going on? Let me read you another article. Because I want y'all to understand that before I start speaking, that there are other scenes that they didn't show where Jennifer herself actually admitted that she had heard some of the cast members calling this girl a gorilla, saying that she looked like a monkey. And then I remember, hold that clip because I'm gonna show you right now. Gorilla, Godzilla, ugly. Okay, thank you.
I heard all of that.
Thank you. You know, hey.
Time out. Who said that?
Hey, she said she heard it.
It was Phoebe, and I don't know why.
She heard it.
Said it to her.
It took 2 years. Jesus Christ.
I didn't know that.
Growth. Do you feel me? That is an epiphany. Growth. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm just glad that somebody is acting like this. Exactly. It came from left field, and it wasn't okay. So it's not about my feelings.
I didn't express my feelings. What I did was I got up and asked that girl to catch a fade because you're only going to disrespect me one time to my fucking face.
Okay, now that you heard that shit, and Jennifer with her little two-faced flip-flopping ass, because she flip-flops and everybody, if you give her the money, she'll flip, is now saying, even in this conversation, that, well, there's, you know, racism out there, there's, you know, colorism out there. Jackie's pressing her to try and get her to admit something or say something like, well, I didn't experience it. And Jennifer's towing the line because Jennifer, in the second clip I'm gonna show you, admitted that she was going to stand by OG in the court case that Evelyn Lozada filed against her, saying that she was trying to defame her fucked up ass character. All right? And listen to this real quick.
Period. This one has said she's not black. She said, I'll be there for you in your lawsuit. I'll be a witness. And now she's changing her tune. She said that. She said, it's a good time to check out. She said that I will be a star witness. She said, oh, she's using my old attorney, this bitch that. I let her talk. I didn't even subpoena her. I didn't even include her in the lawsuit because I didn't want to get in the middle of her bullshit. Now she's changing her tune, and true to form, I've seen these characters. Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? I'm not accusing anybody. I'm speaking facts right now. I'm speaking facts. You couldn't even answer the question because you know it's factual. Did you not say that you wanted to help me with my case against Evelyn? Did you or did you not say that? Is that a fair statement?
I wanted to help you because I knew you were agreeing to this situation.
No, that's not what you said. Thank God it's recorded. You didn't say that.
You didn't.
Jennifer agreed to stand by OG because she felt in that moment that the way she was being treated was wrong. Now, all of a sudden, because Jennifer's back up her ass and because she's about to keep the show, and they're trying to say, Jennifer, if you admit that OG is lying, we'll keep you here for at least 2 more seasons so you can keep making money. Jennifer's ass is over here now towing the line of right and wrong. OG was right when she said, when this show is played over, I'm going to be remembered on the right side of history, bitch, and that's facts. Because you, apparently, money can buy you in any way, shape, or form. You give Jennifer a amount of money and she will take all the shit that she needs to take. She has the whole mentality. You can manipulate her to do whatever you want if you give her money. That's what it is. Now, Jackie at some point also asked OG to apologize to Evelyn. For fucking what, bitch?
Won't do it.
Okay.
You're saying it now. I was sitting here going,
I don't
the
care,
last
Jackie.
motherfucking straw. These women
Jackie,
are getting on fucking planes. They're flying out.
Bye.
There's not going to be any more conversation.
I don't care.
See, that's what I mean.
What do you want me to
taking the attitude of
do?
you don't care. What am I supposed to fucking do?
Jackie,
I'm not
you're
here.
telling me they don't care, so am I supposed to care when somebody doesn't
They're
care?
saying they're tired, OG.
Okay, so am I.
They're
I've
too
been
little,
tired.
too late.
Too little, too late. It's been almost 2 years. It should have happened a year and a half ago. It hasn't, and now
But
they're
you
tired.
You didn't even apologize to Evelyn. And
I
you
don't
showed
owe her an
racism.
apology. That's what I'm telling you. I do not owe her an apology. She is not black. Period. This one has said she's not black. She said, I'll be there for you in your lawsuit. I'll be a witness. And now she's changing her tune. She said that. She said, it's a good time to check out. She said that I will be a star witness. She said, oh, she's using my old attorney, this bitch, that.
Why'd you ask her to apologize to Evelyn? Why? She's not the one that called OG a monkey. The reason, the one thing that Jackie didn't want to say is that Evelyn wants an apology because OG embarrassed the fuck out of her when she said, Ochocinco wanted me. And she had the proof to show that this girl is wanted. Your ex wanted her. It was embarrassing for Evelyn, who has perpetuated her, who has her old image as being one of the most beautiful women out there. She posts pictures of herself half naked or fully naked, and people comment on it saying she's so gorgeous and so beautiful. And the girl that she felt, whose beauty is not comparable to her own, had her guy want her, and she was fully embarrassed, which is why she started patting her crotch in the middle of TV. A 40-something-year-old woman sitting up there with 2 kids, patting her crotch, was that embarrassed, so she went that far. Now, y'all remember that after this season ended, season 8 ended, Evelyn, there was a petition that got started saying that they wanted Evelyn off the show before season 9 actually came on. There was a petition that said they wanted Evelyn off the show because of what they saw. Y'all remember that? Let me read you this other article. This one came out March 24th, 2021, so recently. It said, the article is, will there be a Basketball Wives season 10? And it says, Basketball Wives is a reality show that follows a group of women who have been or currently are significant others of professional basketball players. This series derives its drama from the interaction between the women as they juggle their personal, professional, and social lives. And then it says that it was created by Tom Huffman. The series first was released April 11, 2010. And over 9 seasons, the show has managed to provide viewers what is expected, lots of drama and lots of entertainment. However, the ratings for the 9th season of the show plummeted dangerously low after the conflict between cast member OG and Evelyn Lozada started making headlines. With this, the future of the series hangs in the balance, and fans want to know if there's a possibility of a 10th season. Well, we have got you covered in regards to the release date. Basketball Wives Season 9 released on February 9, 2021 on VH1, with the season concluding on March 23rd. The unusually short 9th season has 7 episodes with a running time of about 44 minutes each. As far as the news of the 10th season is concerned, here's everything we've got. Currently, there's no official news that confirms the renewal or cancellation of season 10. For many years, the viewers have been calling out the show for the alleged favoritism and hypocrisy. Some viewers also took to social media to voice their opinion, stating that it is time to pull the plug on the series as they're done watching the troubled interpersonal relationships of the cast member. However, the record low viewership for season 9 has set the alarm bells ringing for Basketball Wives. According to reports, the season 9 premiere brought in only 537,000 viewers as compared to the season 8 premiere, which drew in 968,000 viewers. It is believed that the conflict between OG and Evelyn is one of the primary reasons for the fall in the show's performance. Their feud turned ugly as social media and lawsuits got involved. Evelyn allegedly referred to OG as ugly in social media and also used a monkey emoji. The viewers were shocked when most of the cast members seemed to side with Evelyn, while OG was labeled aggressive. In a confessional interview, Evelyn justified her action by saying that she does not associate the monkey emoji with anyone. She said that if one searches GIF for laughing, the particular emoji is one of the first 4 that pop up. The reality star later broke down in tears and admitted that she and her children had received death threats. However, OG has not offered an official apology, and most of the viewers did not seem convinced by her explanation. Apologize my ass. Some of you may remember that Evelyn had made a racially charged remark towards cast member Cece Gutierrez in 2018, for which she then publicly apologized. The larger conversation is a sensitive one that revolved around colorism and racism. The extremely short season 9 did not resolve the issues between the cast members, which seems to have pushed the viewers further away. While the producers decided against filming a reunion special episode, several sources have revealed that they are still hopeful for the 10th season as they consider the franchise a fan favorite. It has also been hinted that the producers hoped that Jackie, Christie, and Malaysia would continue to hold the attention of the fans. Some fans even suggested that the show be canceled unless the producers are willing to bring in a whole new set of cast members. The manner in which the controversy has been handled has proven to be disappointing. Therefore, there's so much to be discussed before the show is renewed for another season. Now, let's begin. In season 8 reunion, because I want to paint some facts here, Evelyn Lozada had prepared herself because that was after she had heard the petition had been filed for her to be off the show. If y'all go back in season 8 reunion part 1, Evelyn was in the room, the little dress up room where they put the makeup on with Shawnee, and Shawnee was sitting in the mirror, and she took the time to get off her seat to go to Shawnee. They're recording her building her case, saying, "We all know she's aggressive. We all know she tried to push you." When she said, "We all know she tried to push you," they did show a clip in that same reunion of OG moving Shawnee's fat ass out the way. I'm not gonna call her fat ass. I don't think she's fat, and I'm not fat shaming her. I just don't like her right now. Now, let me repeat that. They all showed OG moving Shawnee's ass, as big and wide as it is, out the way because OG was trying to get to Phoebe Torres to whoop her ass. They did not show Phoebe calling her monkey, gorilla, and OG even said herself in one of the clips that were played, "I'm not gonna keep getting, you're only gonna disrespect me once before I have to fuck you up. You're gonna have to catch this fade. You're not about to call me racist terms and think I'm gonna sit down." Most of you black people that are sitting up here on this channel saying that you just think that it's not colorism, not colorism. Let me ask you, how would you react if somebody calls you Nigger? Would you just say, "Oh, it's because they don't like me," or would you be ready to fight that person? That's the question you need to answer yourself, because I've seen most people be like, "If you call me that, I'm whooping your ass. It's on site. You're not finna call me something like that." That is the same thing that happened, but they didn't show that clip. They only showed OG moving Shawnee out the way and Shawnee trying to stop her from getting to Phoebe. And then Evelyn's building her case saying, "We all know she pushed you, bitch." What about the rest? What about the rest? So there's certain things that they're omitting to try and give you a different opinion and make you think that what you're seeing is all in your head. That was season 8 reunion. Right after they showed OG on the different panel and people were saying, "We're done with this season, we don't want to see anymore." Then season 9 happened and they brought OG back on contract, And they got her there. They had already talked to Jackie saying, Jackie, we want you to be the middleman. And we want you to sit there because you are OG's friend. You and Jennifer are OG's friend, because they brought Jennifer ass back too. Saying, we want you both to sit here and convince this girl to recant her truth. Tell everybody that what we didn't happen. Tell everybody that all of a sudden saying that she's aggressive was only because we don't like her. There was an interview that Shani did right after season 8 reunion. They asked her why she put OG on a different panel, because it was supposed to be damage control. Shani sat up there, and what she said in that interview was, and I quote, "You all are too invested in the show, number one, and number two is because we don't like OG because every time that there's a scene, she makes it all about her." Making a scene all about her does not equate to aggression, does not equate to we're afraid of her, does not equate to it's unsafe to be around her. You can say she's conceited, you can say that she's self-centered, but all that, those are two different sides of the coin. Shani didn't have anything sensible to say about her decision to do what she did, other than the fact that Evelyn had come to her and begged her to move this girl because that girl had kept embarrassing her because Evelyn said, I make money. And OG said, yeah, on your knees and sometimes on your back. She does not know how to go with words. With Jennifer is a passive-aggressive African-American woman that would take and take and take. She's the yes person, and she'll do whatever she needs to do to fit in. So Evelyn can bully her and say whatever she wants to say to her and try to throw drinks in her face and try to jump over a table and watch her get slapped and be comfortable in her spirit. But OG has continuously keep to embarrass her. And because Shani was her friend, she tried to do the thing for her friend, but she didn't do the thing good for the network. She should have told Evelyn, bitch, you got yourself in this situation to get yourself out. I'm not putting this girl on a different stage because we had her on the same stage with the season 7. Now, in this particular conversation, Jackie starts yelling at OG about putting her pride aside, saying that she needs to give the network what they want to hear. And I'm sitting there like, bitch, what? How could you, in your right mind, as old as you are, Jackie, you are a grandma. Hell, your ass as old as you are, March with Martin Luther King. Hell, you were there when the Civil Rights Act was being written. And you sitting up here saying that you wanted her to say what she wants to say just to keep the show going. Then I'm sitting here listening to Jackie's ignorant ass keep talking. And Jackie kept going. And the next thing she said was, I've given this show 9 years of my life. It's my career. I said, bitch, what? I had to look under my bed, look under my car, look inside a closet. I looked everywhere I could to try and find this career Jackie was talking about. Because to my understanding, your money was made because your husband was a professional basketball player. And yes, you're on this show. But this show, if this is your career, girl, your career is a reality TV personality where you're out here cussing people out and yelling at people and fighting with people. That's your career. This is what you want to be remembered as old as your ass is. Bitch, bye. I have lost all respect for Jackie after this interview. After this, I've lost all respect for her. As old as she is, ain't no black person on this panel or ain't no black person on this Basketball franchise that can sit up here and tell me that they don't know what colorism is and they don't know how different it is from favoritism and what favoritism is and how you enact it and what colorism is. Jackie herself is fully aware of what it is, but she's gonna say whatever she needs to say because this show is that important to her. It's how apparently it's not even the money that she makes that she needs. It's just the fame. She likes being on TV. It's gotten to her head. And she enjoys it so much that she's willing to throw her friend on the side and force her friend and try to manipulate her into lying. And when I use the word manipulate, these are facts because there's several things Jackie said in this conversation that was manipulative tactics that you use on somebody whose IQ is less than or somebody you feel like you can say whatever. Because Jackie cries all the time when she wants things to go her way. And she uses that tears like, you're my sister. And people think that that's going to be, bitch, your tears, your crocodile tears don't mean nothing to me. I feel zero sympathy for you. Zero. Now let's keep going. She says that there's no colorism and that it ain't be no colorism. Now I also had another article that I wanted to read to y'all where former cast members had come up there and said that they have experienced some of the disrespect and that they haven't been doing anything for it. And I think it was an article where it had Tammy, I already told y'all that Tammy wanted to leave earlier had she not been for her contract, Royce. And this is what they said. In episode 3, from former Basketball Wives cast members are rallying behind star OG after the most recent episode of the VH1. So these are rallying behind OG. These are people who have seen shit that your ass haven't even seen. Then it says in episode 3, while the 8 ladies were quarantining together in separate houses, OG sat down with fellow cast member Kristen Scott to talk about her experiences with colorism during the previous season. While it was broadcast to make it seem as though OG was standoffish and defensive the whole time after the episode aired, she actually shared unedited audio of her talk with Kristen, and it sounded the complete opposite of what was shown. While the two didn't end up on the same page when it was all said and done, it wasn't a completely fruitless conversation. Kristen wanted OG to paint her for the instances where she felt she was a victim of colorism. And OG, wary of trying to explain the obvious ways in which she was treated differently and separated from her castmates, wanted Kristen and the other ladies to educate themselves so that they could see how their treatment of her was problematic on their own. Overall, though, the conversation was edited in a less than favorable way, so OG exposed the entire thing, which is close to an hour. Listen very carefully, she wrote on her Instagram. After waiting over 2 hours for this girl to come forth an ignorant conversation, I was extremely nice, patient, and accommodating. While this was not shown, I do not know. Clearing things up, OG said, I do not care what these people think about me, adding, yes, I experienced colorism, and yes, I experienced racism. I initially expressed my concerns privately to see if these issues could be resolved, she said. After publicly being defamed, segregated, and called a monkey, I shared my experience. She would add that her experience is not my storyline and that she wasn't the one who kept bringing it up in the new season. This is simply what really happened to me, followed by pathetic attempts to do damage control. OG has her share of detractors as well as a significant number of supporters. The latter group includes some of notable former Basketball Wives stars Cece Gutierrez, Tammy Roman, and Royce Reed, all took to OG's Instagram to call out the toxic behavior and share their own less than pleasant experiences with not only the cast, but also behind the series. I just now watched only this episode and I'm not surprised, Cece wrote. I miss you, I love you, and I'm proud of you. Yes, it's what they do. Yes, it's what they've done many times to me. The amount of disrespect is unbelievable. Nothing was done to address what was done to me, not one thing. Instead, it was amplified for entertainment and never addressed after the fact. What did the executive producer say about that? Or anyone else to fix it or address it? But this is not about me, it's about you. And I will always stand with you forever. Tammy Roman, who like Cece left the show after season 8, who also voiced support for her friend, saying, OG, no one can tell you how to feel and you have a right to express your truth, she wrote. I spoke to you during the entire filming and I witnessed firsthand your hurt and pain. I am so sorry you have to continually be the target even when all you want is peace. Toxic people love saying everyone else is toxic to avoid accountability. Stay strong, friend. The viewers will eventually see and know it's not you. Even Royce Reed decided to speak up, saying, I 100% agree with you. The amount of disrespect I received and favoritism I witnessed for 4 seasons to be blanketed by and dismissed by production edits or cast interviews was depressing. But I went back for those seasons after being told a change would happen. It never did, she said. To even excuse the terms used when other networks have respectfully parted ways with cast members for less offensive remarks simply because of ratings is so sad and shows not much have changed on the network. Whether you agree with OG or not, the show certainly using the negative experiences she had as a selling point to get people to watch as opposed to truly addressing it. At this rate, we're sure OG will be joining these ladies as former Basketball Wives castmates soon enough, and we won't blame her for running for the exit. So when y'all sitting up here saying that what she's experiencing is because she's ugly, or no, it's not true, y'all are dumb as hell. Because I don't understand how somebody can be beating your face up with some facts hitting you on the forehead and your ass to sit up here and say that what she's saying is not true or it did not happen. I have seen several incidences in when Evelyn has said certain things that were racially specific when she's trying to insult people. And right after the season, by the way, Evelyn, after season 8, Evelyn decided that she wanted to stay on the show. That's when she got her ass baptized, or supposedly baptized in a bucket full of piss, because they know when she got baptized and came to this show season 9 and acted like a decent human being. She could have gone up there and said, you know what, OG? What I did in anger was wrong. I'm so sorry. It was not something that you're supposed to do. I cannot be arguing with people and using racially specific insults to get at them. Phoebe's ass should have stood there as well, but they kept her ass off every single episode until the end. Y'all remember that? They kept her ass out the whole time because Phoebe was one of the ones who called her gorilla. And so they deliberately didn't bring her in the show. Not for that anyway. They brought Nia and Nothing on the show to make a storyline for Phoebe outside of the gorilla comment that she kept making and calling OG the whole time in the recording I previously played. Y'all don't see this shit? For some of y'all that sit up here saying, oh my gosh, it's not true. OG's so annoying. Enough is enough. The only thing I think OG's doing annoying at this point is just stop posting any more recordings. Bitch, we heard you. I believe you. The proof is in the pudding, bitch. I hear you. Now, she says that there's no colorism, and it ain't been no colorism, what the fuck? And then Jackie said something like, a lot of these women don't have nothing to do. Damn right, bitch, you don't have shit to do except sit here and act stupid. Then she said, Jackie brings up colorism towards Jennifer at season 8 and starts badgering Jennifer, saying, Jennifer, did you experience this? You experienced it? Jennifer was dancing around it as she was saying, oh, well, it exists. But, you know, Jackie wanted her to recant, even though Jennifer, OG can look at Jennifer and say, bitch, you said that you were going to stand in my trial against Evelyn because you saw what I saw. So Jennifer didn't want to be honest and say how she felt when Jackie was trying to pressure her to lie. Then we had OG bring up the text message and said that they had sent her a text message saying that they would have a conversation with her if she's willing on camera to recant what she said. So basically, y'all want her to lie and say, well, this is not what I experienced. Y'all didn't say this shit to me to keep the show going. And then the next season, after I lie and say I didn't experience it, y'all can have me on back here and said, well, we heard you last season 9 say it didn't happen to you, bitch. So are you lying now? They try to play that girl for a fool. They try to play her. When I say they try to play somebody, they try to play her. You sent her a text message saying that you would have a conversation with her, Shani, and all of them would have a conversation with her if she lies and said that they didn't do what they did. And Jackie, you're sitting up here yelling at her and cussing at her. She's the one at fault. Bitch, you should be ashamed of yourself. Your kids should be embarrassed when they watch this. Hell, I don't even know surprised about Jackie, which your kids, you didn't treat one of them like crap because she was dark-skinned. We all heard it when Laura went to meet with your daughter, that you treated her and using several colorism tactics, which your ass is known to do, and your own child. So, of course, you'd be sitting here acting as stupid as you are. I have no respect for Jackie, and tell me who's right about Jackie. Jackie fake. That's facts. Then we had Jackie starting to cry and do that, using her kids to try and manipulate OG. My kids are saying that, you know, Mom, these are your friends. Bitch, they know that these are not your friends, Jackie. These are not your friends. Evelyn at some point went after Jackie when Jackie called her daughter a builder whore. Evelyn created that fight between Malaysia and Jackie because she wanted to break that friendship, because she was trying to get her back for calling her daughter a builder whore. It wasn't until Evelyn is about to get booted out the show that Evelyn decided to call Jackie 1,000 times, make it seem like her and Jackie were cool. But then she's mad at Jennifer for talking bad about her kid. That shit don't make no damn sense. It's strategic, guys. Pay attention to what the fuck this bitch is doing. Now Jackie's sitting up there trying to cry, talking about my kids, but I don't give a fuck about your damn kids crying. And these are not adult, these are not babies, bitch. They're grown. They're grown. These are adult kids, Jackie. What the fuck are you trying to do? Like, the efforts that she went in this recording that I just posted is almost, it's not just embarrassing, it's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. Jackie is the oldest one in that cast. It's disappointing as hell. Then we have Jackie saying something like, Evelyn, you know, yes, there is colorism. Tell her to say that, yes, there is colorism, but you're willing to move on. How do you move on from experiencing colorism without the individuals who perpetuated it to sit there and say, listen, I didn't realize I was doing this. I'm so sorry. Now that I realize we're doing it, we're going to do better. Y'all saw what happened with VH1's Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion. They had several teaching moments that they can use, you know, especially with what's going on. Why couldn't Basketball Wives do the same thing? I'm confused, because it would mean that Evelyn filed a faulty lawsuit. Evelyn would have to go back and recant her lawsuit and said that she didn't mean to do what she did, and it will make her look crazy. It's about pride on her part. She don't want to take the pride and accept that she made a mistake and she made a rash decision, because she was trying to save her show, her appearance on the show, right? She didn't want to say that. And Shani, being her friend, was trying to support her. But Shani also makes money off the show too. So all of them are thinking, well, OG exposing what we've had, apparently other cast members have said that they've experienced time and again. But because we've had the viewers we needed, we didn't think it was necessary to address it. Now that we have Black Lives Matter going on, now that we had the craziness of the election occur, now that we have the trial of George Floyd going on, now that people are now paying attention because we want to change, then they decide that they want to now address it. But there have been several other shows like The Bachelorette and The Bachelor that have had these types of accusations that have fixed it and rectified it because they wanted to do better. Your ass is sitting up there with the cast full of black people and you don't want to do better. Why is it that we're so quick to check other races for insulting us racially, but it's not okay. We don't know how to, as a people, address it within ourselves and make it better. You can't be out there correcting other people for saying racist things to you as a black person if you as a black person aren't willing to deal with it and accept accountability when it happens in your presence. What's the difference? It's almost like people saying things like, well, you know, if we use, because Jackie said something, well, we use the N-word, but we get mad when other people use it. But it just depends on how you say it. Personally, I don't use the N-word. Okay, that's just me, I don't. But I don't use it, and so if somebody else outside my race or in my race calls me that, I want to be quick to check them. But I'm not going to let somebody tell me that they experienced something that's racist, beware of colorism, tell me their experiences, and I'm saying, well, I didn't experience it, so what you're feeling is not true. That doesn't make any sense, Jackie, bitch. You sound stupid as hell. You need Ritalin or hooked on phonics or something. You sound stupid as hell. Now we have Jackie say something like, I don't think that they did it, but if they did, they're saying that they didn't mean it. I don't think they did it, but if they did, they're saying they didn't mean it. Why would they say they didn't mean it if they didn't did it? They didn't do it. I don't know what Jackie was trying to do, but whatever she was trying to do, she was running her mouth in the wrong direction. Then OG says, I will be on the right side of history. And there was one thing she said, well, she will hold on to her soul before she hold on to the show. And those are facts. And I absolutely approve her for saying that. And the woman who raised this woman raised her ass right. Then Jackie's saying that she would apologize on behalf of the group. And I'm like, girl, it's crazy. And then OG said something like, you know, I already expressed to Malaysia and Kristen that I'm willing to move on. I hadn't brought this up for a whole year. I didn't talk about it for a whole year. I didn't say anything about it for a whole year. People were interviewing me and asking me about it, and I spoke on it when I was asked, but I didn't bring it up personally. It's been a whole year now. These bitches are in my face, brought me back for season 9 on false pretenses, saying that we about to have fun, but it basically been all you girls in my face trying to make me say the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again and trying to pick it apart. To perpetuate a wrong and false image to get what you want so the show keeps going. Instead of just coming up here saying, you know what, OG, we're sorry for when we treated you. It don't matter if we think you're ugly or whatever the case is or we don't like you, but let's get to know you. If you don't fit, if you're not a good fit for the show, you're not a good fit for the show. But at least we know what we did and we won't do it again. How hard was that? Like, for real. Jackie talking about pride. Pride is, yes, Jackie is pride, but it's not on OG's part. I'm sorry. It's on Shawnee Evelyn's part. Shawnee does not looks at OG as if OG is just this. She's only been here for 3 seasons. Who were you? Evelyn also is thinking the same thing. Bitch, who are you? I think she called OG a fan. When OG told her Ochocinco wanted me. She called OG a fan and made it seem like OG was stalking her. They don't respect this girl. And clearly they don't respect her because they talk to her the way that they talk to her. They treated her the way they treated her and then called her aggressive and put her on a different panel. And then called her a monkey and gorilla and everything that they could think of, in addition to calling Cece Liling. They don't respect her, but they didn't expect that it would go this far. They picked the right one today. That's how I feel. Then OG expressed in the final of the video that after the Malaysia and Kristen conversation is when Jackie asked her to leave. Ironically though, when we saw what we saw, there were several other scenes that we saw, including conversations between her and nothing to no one, before OG left. They had cut and pasted it. They didn't ask her to leave right after Malaysia and Kristen's conversation. They had other things that happened on the show before Jackie asked her to leave. So I'm like, they cut and pasted it to make it seem like these happened days later after her and Nia nothing. It's just the way that they pasted this. It's almost like a jigsaw puzzle and you have to take it apart and piece it together because the scenes that they were showing in the episodes didn't happen in that order. Some of them happened earlier and they're trying to make it seem like all these things had happened in days before she was asked to leave because she wasn't going to say what production wanted her to say to keep the show going, as in lie. Like, honestly, it'd be sad when Basketball Wives come back season 10 if this nonsense is still going on. It'll be sad. And I will have no respect for any woman on that stage. And I don't, because I feel like a simple apology would have settled all of this. A simple apology would have settled all of this. If Evelyn is too prideful, and Evelyn thought that a lawsuit will force the apology from OG. OG don't owe Evelyn shit. It don't matter if she went to Zamunda, came back with some cornrows and say she's Afro-Latina because she greased her scalp with some Crisco. It don't matter. She still said some racist things to both CC and OG. The irony is that she was willing to apologize to CC, but she wasn't willing to apologize to OG. Why is that? I'm confused about that. Because OG embarrassed the fuck out of Evelyn. So she's too prideful, she don't want to apologize to her. Bitch, bye.